Fascinating thing, the Dallas Cowboys. They seem to be at a low point right now, though. If you just look at the fan turnout, that's never happened with all the contracts that are up. Hopefully, they'll be able to sort it. Let's go to the NFC South. Country music superstar, owner of a CMA Song of the Year award.
Boom.
Jordan Davis has a question for you, Lombo.
I do.
Yes, sir.
Saints fan here.
Yeah.
Maybe Derek Carr's the guy, but obviously the years are running out there. But my thing, I mean, I just feel like he's getting up. No offense to Derek Carr.
You asked your question, buddy. You asked your question, buddy.
You, brother.
I am a little nervous about the quarterback class coming out next year out of college ball. So is the Saints maybe making a potential move for a Louisiana guy in Dak Prescott if Dallas can't get it figured out? Is there a way to bring him back to Louisiana?
I like that.
Well, if he got free, I mean, certainly you'd have to listen to that. I mean, look, I think the interesting about Carr is what Carr are you going to see, Jordan? Are you going to see the one who was 4-1 the last 5 games of the year, who threw 14 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions and had a really high completion percentage? Or are we going to see the guy in the first 4 games of the year who threw 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions?
Yeah.
First 5 games of the year, they averaged 15 points a game. The last 4 games, they averaged 26. So to me, which one are they going to see? Now, they doubled down on Carr this year when they agreed and to get cap room, they guaranteed his paragraph 5, which extended out more of his bonus money, which makes it harder for them to move on from him. They doubled down. The only player they didn't double down on was Kamara, whose numbers have been trending in the wrong direction significantly. So that makes sense. But look, I think that would be the one potential team that Jerry would have to worry about with Dak in terms of leaving, because they would have the ability, and Mickey Loomis is very good at being able to do it. Look, how did they get their franchise turned around when you won a Super Bowl? I mean, they beat Nick Saban. They didn't pass Drew Brees on that physical, and Drew Brees became a Saint.
Yeah, and Jordan's, down here celebrating one of the worst nights I've ever been a part of.
Sure.
Jordan here is friends with Peyton. He's friends with Peyton Manning, obviously. That's how I ended up meeting Jordan Davis. And then he's like, Drew Brees, the Saints. Remember when they just shit all over Peyton Manning and his legacy as an Indianapolis Colt in a Super Bowl down there in Miami?
We've gotten past that, though. Peyton's forgiven me.
Yeah, that's because he won another one in Denver.
Sure.
Yeah. He was, what a career that dude. And then Dak Prescott's referencing that.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of other quarterbacks have to go play for other teams. It's just reality of the situation. And
might be my reality.
It might be my reality. I'm going to be where my feet are, and I'm going to work hard for my guys and everything. It's like, Dak Prescott and his agent are very much on the same page.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, listen.
And they're back.
Look at Matthew Stafford. He wins the Super Bowl. He goes somewhere else. Look at Peyton Manning. He wins the Super Bowl. He goes somewhere else. Look at Tom Brady. He wins the Super Bowl. He goes somewhere else. All those places, too, parades for him as he was coming there. There's no, this guy can't win the big, this is parades. All your shit that you did in your it's almost like a rebirth.
Yeah, true.
It's like it's like
It's almost like baptism.
It's almost like baptism.
Yeah.
They almost just kind of clean it, and you're in a new place. And it happened with Aaron when he goes to the Jets. Packers fans were like done with it all. Not all Packers fans, obviously. Not all Packers fans. But there was a portion of Packers fans who were loud, who were basically like, we're done with this Aaron Rodgers shit. He goes in a dark hole. He's taking ayahuasca. We don't want to hear, shut up. Just play football, pretty much. Now, granted, his situation at Green Bay was certainly one that none of us could have understood. He had no say in any decisions that were being made on the offense side of the ball after playing there for 18 years and being an MVP and everything. That is not what we have come to understand in the NFL, at least. Let's get some ideas here, especially from the guys who are going to have to make it happen. But then he goes over to New York. The entire city of New York is like, whatever you want to do, dude.
Yeah.
You want to go to Wicked? Well, you could be in Wicked if you want to do that.
Right away.
You can go to the Rangers game. You can go to the Knicks game. You're walking down the street. There's like a parade every day. Like Dak Prescott has probably been talking about that since the last time his deal was kind of on delay, but now even more so with the research we've had and the examples we've had. It's like these quarterbacks probably okay and maybe pumped to go build a new legacy. Peyton lives in Denver.
Yeah.
Peyton lives in Denver right now. It's not like he lives in Indianapolis. Has a statue here, but he lives in Denver. Stafford, I assume, is going to live in Los Angeles, for his entire being.
Yep.
Tom's going to go into the Tampa Bay Ring of Honor Hall of Fame thing and have 2 homes. It's like Dak, so Dallas still, and I get to go to a new place, and the contract is going to be bananas if I want it. It's like a wild time in the NFL right now because that position used to be locked down forever, Lombo, in one place seemingly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, he couldn't move, but now you got freedom. And Dak's agent was smart, and he will make it to the market if Jerry doesn't do something beforehand because they can't franchise him.
They'll pay.
And
Kirk Cousins just got $180 million.
Money,
Yep. After
when it only costs money, we see people rally up. I mean, look what Minnesota was able to do. Kirk Cousins was really the last guy that was a bona fide quarterback to make it to the market. Rarely does this happen. So, and look at the deal that Kirk got. I mean, Deshaun Watson got traded. There was value, and look at the deal Deshaun Watson got. Think about that. There's no trade involved with Dak. You lose no assets.
Oh my!
You lose cash, no assets.
Yikes.
And a lot of these teams, historically, when they've moved on from these great quarterbacks, they had replacement in place. Montana was gone. You had Young. Rodgers obviously went Favre, and then Love with Rodgers. So Dak right now, if he Trey Lance, you gonna put it in Trey Lance's hand?
It's funny you bring that up, Darius, is because Trey Lance, the reason they traded for Trey Lance was because they had him graded so highly when he was getting ready to come out. He was one of their top players on their draft board. And Jerry felt like if that was our grade and for whatever happened in San Francisco happened, then we should trade a fourth-round pick for a guy that we had graded as high as we had graded and take a look at him. Now, from what I'm told, it still hasn't kind of gotten together for Trey Lance. He's, is a little bit behind, and it's not as instinctive for him to play within the framework of there. But that would make a lot of sense if you wanted to be able to get your cap in order, is if Trey Lance could be Jordan Love, right? And you could sign him to a deal that's more modest before Love signed this new contract. Now, all of a sudden, you've got more ability to be more flexible with your team. But if Jerry pays Dak, he pays Lamb, he pays Parsons, then it's going to be hard to pay a lot of other guys.
And who's the next coach, GM? Is it Bill Belichick?
Oh.
Whoa!